All right, everybody. Let's dive into self-reliance today.
Yeah, it's really powerful stuff.
We've got a great speech to unpack here,
Mm.
all about taking ownership of your life.
Yeah, should be really fascinating.
I'm excited to break it down with you and see what we can learn.
Yeah, me too.
So let's start with the basics. What does it actually mean
Right.
to be self-reliant?
Yeah, it's a great question. And, it's more than just doing things yourself, right? It's about a shift in mindset,
Yeah.
a way of looking at the world where you're not waiting for permission
Mm,
or handouts. You're the one in control.
okay. I like that.
Right.
So it's not just about what you do, but how you see yourself.
Exactly. You start to trust your own judgment. You make decisions,
Yeah.
even if there's a chance you might make a mistake.
Right.
But each choice, each action is like a stepping stone. It's building that self-reliance muscle.
I love that analogy of a muscle
Yeah.
because it implies that you don't just wake up one day and you're self-reliant.
Yeah.
You have to work at it. You have to strengthen it over time.
Yeah, absolutely. And the flip side is that every time you let someone else make a decision for you, you're kind of sending a message to yourself that
Yeah.
you're not capable. And that can become like a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Oh, that's interesting.
Your self-esteem can take a hit,
Yeah.
and then you end up relying on others even more.
So it becomes a vicious cycle.
Yeah, exactly.
So breaking free from that dependency is crucial, not just for practical reasons,
Right.
but for our own sense of worth, our own self-esteem.
Absolutely. And that brings us to another really important point.
Okay.
Change. Because growth and change, they kind of go hand in hand.
Yeah.
The more self-reliant you are, the more ready you are
Yeah.
to face those changes, to embrace them, even when it feels scary.
You know what? I used to be so resistant to change.
Really?
I would just cling to what was familiar, even if it wasn't really serving me.
Yeah, I think a lot of people can relate to that.
Because stepping into the unknown, that's scary.
It is.
I remember this quote, that resisting change is like trying to hold back the tide.
Ooh, that's a good one.
It's just futile.
It is. You're just going to get swept away.
Exactly. And it makes me think about like a seed, right, that has to break through its shell, that hard protective layer
Yeah.
in order to reach its full potential.
Right. It's that breaking point change, that breaking point that pushes us out of our comfort zone and into this whole new world of possibility.
I'm starting to see how self-reliance and embracing change are really connected.
They're intertwined.
But how do we make it happen?
Right.
How do we actually cultivate these qualities in ourselves?
Well, the speech we're diving into today, it's got all these incredible stories about people who embodied self-reliance, and they're so inspiring.
They really are.
They're not just feel-good stories. They actually give us a blueprint for how to be successful.
Like that story of the self-taught inventor.
Oh, yeah.
The guy who turned his house into his own laboratory,
Amazing.
defying all odds, and just proving that, sometimes limitations are self-imposed.
Exactly. He didn't let anything hold him back.
He didn't have fancy degrees or mentors or anything, just pure grit.
Yeah, and a thirst for knowledge.
It's incredible. And what's really fascinating to me is that he didn't just achieve his goals. He redefined what was possible.
He didn't wait for anyone to give him permission.
He forged his own path.
Yeah, exactly.
And then there's that woman, the trailblazing entrepreneur,
Yeah.
who built an empire
Incredible.
at a time when society told her she couldn't do it.
Right, when it was unheard of?
No role models, no support systems.
It's pure determination. She
Yeah.
had that fire in her belly.
She shattered glass ceilings, reshaped an entire industry,
Yeah.
and just proved that, when the world doubts you, you have the power to create your own reality.
You do. You have that power within you.
And speaking of defying the odds,
Yeah.
we can't forget the writer
Oh, yeah.
who faced rejection after rejection.
He got knocked down so many times.
No, but he never gave up on his dream.
Never gave up.
He didn't need validation from publishers.
Nope.
He believed in his story
He had that self-belief.
and eventually found his audience on his own terms.
So inspiring.
He took control, self-published his work,
Yeah.
and showed us that success isn't about waiting for someone to give you the green light.
It's not.
It's about believing in yourself, even when nobody else does.
Powerful stuff.
These stories are so incredible,
They are.
so powerful. What's the common thread?
Yeah.
What is the secret ingredient?
Right. What allowed them to achieve those incredible things?
They all understood the importance of personal responsibility.
Yeah. That's the foundation.
So we're not just talking about taking responsibility for our actions, but for our entire lives.
Exactly. For the choices we make, for the path we take.
So it's about recognizing that we are the authors of our own stories.
You are the author of your own life.
Our choices, our actions, even our thoughts, They shape our reality.
They shape the world around you.
So it's not about blaming others or making excuses.
Yep.
It's about owning our power to create the life we desire.
It is. It's about taking control.
And that's where true freedom lies.
It is. It's the freedom to create, to change.
To influence, to make a difference in the world.
Absolutely.
Okay, so we've established that self-reliance is amazing.
It is.
And personal responsibility is key.
It's the cornerstone.
But how do we actually cultivate these qualities?
Right. How do we make this happen?
Where do we even begin?
Well, it all starts with self-education.
Okay.
It's the foundation for everything else.
So you're talking about being a lifelong learner.
Yeah, exactly.
Reading books, listening to podcasts like this one.
Right.
Having those thought-provoking conversations that expand our minds and challenge our perspectives.
Absolutely. The more you learn, the more confident you become.
Yeah.
You're less likely to doubt yourself.
And more likely to trust your gut.
Exactly.
So knowledge is power.
It is.
But it's not just about accumulating information.
Right.
It's about applying that knowledge, putting it into action.
You got it. And that brings us to another really important point: practice.
Okay.
Because every single day we're faced with choices.
Yeah, big and small.
Big and small. And each one is an opportunity to exercise that self-reliance muscle.
So instead of letting those decisions paralyze us,
Right.
we need to embrace them, knowing that even if we make a mistake,
Yeah.
we're learning and growing along the way.
Exactly. It's all about the journey.
And speaking of perspective shifts, I think it's important to talk about goal setting.
Okay.
Because when we set clear goals, we're essentially creating a roadmap for our lives.
Yeah, you're setting your direction.
We're taking control and creating our own destiny.
Absolutely. And don't forget the importance of spending time alone.
Oh, yeah.
Reflecting on your values, your passions, your beliefs.
Solitude is so important.
It's a chance to connect with yourself.
To really get to know who you are deep down.
Yeah, and to figure out what you truly want.
So self-education, decision-making, goal-setting, self-reflection, these are all crucial pieces of the self-reliance puzzle.
They are. They all fit together.
But what about the bumps in the road?
Right.
How do we deal with the setbacks and challenges that inevitably come up?
Yeah. That's where resilience comes in. That's where the real magic happens.
So it's not about avoiding challenges.
Nope.
It's about learning to bounce back from them.
Exactly. It's about weathering the storm.
And coming out stronger on the other side.
And wiser each challenge you overcome, each obstacle you face.
Yeah.
It's a testament to your strength and your determination.
So instead of letting setbacks define us, we need to embrace them as opportunities for growth.
Absolutely. And celebrate your successes.
Yes.
Big and small.
No matter how small each victory, each milestone.
Yeah.
It's a reminder that you're on the right track.
And those reminders are so crucial.
They are, especially when you start to doubt yourself.
Speaking of doubts and fears, what are some of the common challenges
that people face on the road to self-reliance?
That's a great question, and one we should definitely explore.
Let's dive into those in part 2 of our deep dive.
Welcome back.
Okay, so we just laid the foundation for what self-reliance really means.
Yeah, building that inner strength like a strong, sturdy tree.
So you're not dependent on other people.
Right.
For your happiness or for making decisions.
Exactly, you're in the driver's seat.
And we also explored how personal responsibility is like claiming authorship of your own life story.
Yeah, no more blaming others or feeling like a victim.
You have the power to shape your path.
Absolutely.
So now let's talk about those roadblocks that inevitably pop up.
There are always bumps in the road.
On the journey to self-reliance.
Right. And we touched on fear a little bit before the break.
Yeah, fear can be a major hurdle.
It can be paralyzing.
It makes sense, though. Stepping outside your comfort zone can be scary.
It can feel like jumping off a cliff.
Exactly. And I remember when I first quit my corporate job.
Oh, yeah.
To pursue my passion.
Big step.
Everyone thought I was crazy.
But you did it.
I did. And you know what? It was terrifying at first.
I bet.
But it was also the most liberating experience.
See, that's what I'm talking about.
I learned that I'm capable of so much more.
Yeah, you tapped into that inner strength
than I ever gave myself credit for.
That's what self-reliance is all about.
Exactly. And it's something that we all have the potential for.
Absolutely. We all have that power within us.
Think about all the pioneers and innovators throughout history. They all faced fear, but they didn't let it stop them.
They used it as fuel.
So how do we do that? How do we turn fear into fuel?
Right. It's easy to say, but it's harder to actually do it.
Especially when you're in the middle of it all.
One thing that really helped me is this idea of building a fortress of philosophy.
A fortress.
Yeah. It's like a mental and emotional shield that protects you from negativity and self-doubt.
Okay, I like that imagery.
So it's strong, it's sturdy, it's unbreakable.
How do we build this fortress?
What are the bricks and mortar?
Well, setting boundaries is a key element.
Yeah. Boundaries are essential.
It's not about being selfish.
Right.
It's about protecting your energy.
Yeah, and your vision.
You know, I used to think that setting boundaries was mean or confrontational.
A lot of people think that.
But I've learned that it's actually about self-respect.
Exactly. And honoring your own needs.
It's about being clear about what you will and will not tolerate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What you're willing to put up with.
And that includes other people.